Good evening, everybody. This is Mr. Samos again with another video regarding the EV market. If you are new to this channel, please make sure you like so that I can stay relevant to the YouTube algorithm. Do consider subscribing because we do talk about all EV, some crypto, and then most importantly, how to invest psychologically. Now, we want to make a generational wealth, not just to be rich for like 1 or 2 months, but to have the generational wealth where like you can wake up and knowing that your bank account is great, and you can also wake up knowing that your kid's future financially is great. So we're here talking about that. I'm here to make a community to make sure that we're doing the best thing that we can do for our investments. All right, today we're going to talk about the markets because the markets was pretty interesting today. Yesterday was a really good rally. Now, if you noticed, I did talk about how I was in Volta. Volta was a really good options call for me, but now it looks like are we dying? Is everything done? I don't think so. Now, I did mention that the market does have to breathe a little bit because it went in a rally. If you look at the EV utility sector, everything was pretty much down end of day, but they did close, I believe, a little bit above the previous day. Like for Lucid, it opened up at 43, but it also closed at 44. So it's still on an upward trend. Now, we're going to talk about Lucid in a little bit, but I do want to talk about Rivian because Rivian is going to be the hard hitter that's actually, I think they can go public, but they can go public to trade tomorrow. Now, what is it about Rivian that it makes it so interesting enough that you should invest in it or you should not invest in it? We had this video yesterday about Rivian. Guys, Rivian, they've been working like in the shadows, okay? So we know that this IPO is going to be at $78 a share, as mentioned here in Seeking Alpha. It did say that it was going to be at 62 to 72, but because of this, I believe they raised $10 billion for their new market cap. So Bloomberg earlier reported that Rivian was expected to price its IPO above the top of the market range to $70 to $74, but now people are saying that's going to raise to like 90 to 100 because we're seeing a lot of big hitters coming in tomorrow. We'll see them. A stronger than anticipated pricing would also raise the market cap of Rivian bigger than the caps of FedEx, Lululemon, or Capital One. Now, they are an IPO. They raised money on themselves before they got an IPO. This is interesting because you know that they're doing something good. Now, if you kind of compare them to the Ford F-150 Lightning and the Cybertruck, for me, my opinion, I believe the Ford F-150 Lightning is a nice truck. I personally never had an F-150, so I can't really relate to it. But from the research that I have done, the YouTube channels that I've watched, of those three comparisons, Rivian is nice and sleek. It's just like a Lucid. It's nice and sleek like a Tesla. The inside and the interior were very, very manageable. I mean, it didn't have a lot of bells and whistles. Like I did mention prior, it does not have a lot of bells and whistles. It's just straight to the point. Now, there's a lot of upgrades with the Rivian, but we're not talking about the car. But now we got to talk about, is this going to perform? I mean, for me, if you're asking me, I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to let this IPO do its thing, and then I'm going to go ahead and probably get in a little bit later when it sells, when it hits a bottom. So I'm going to wait for that. All right. So we did talk about the Rivian, and we know we've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks about the EV startup. I believe it's going to be one of those things where everyone's going to get in, it's going to drive the price up, and then everyone's going to take their money and short everything, and then everyone's going to make their money and leave. And then what's going to happen for retailers? All the retailers are just going to be left in the dust and trying to hold the bag. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. But for me personally, I'm going to go ahead and wait for this to hit a bottom, maybe a couple months. But my eyes are definitely on Rivian. Rivian is going to be a big hitter. And I feel that maybe if I didn't get into it earlier, I might do a couple shares, but I'm not going to go all in. But I'm going to get a couple shares in. Maybe like within the month, and I will go a little more heavier later on when it dips. If it dips, what if it goes up because of the positivity of this company? So it's really interesting. So we have Amazon backing it up, 20% stake. We also have Ford with this legacy company backing up for 5%. Amazon already got 100,000 vehicles, vans for their fleet. So that's interesting enough because I know that they want to go a lot more green with their vehicles. So with Hertz going into it, Lyft and Uber trying to get more Teslas and buying more EV cars, Rivian is already there. They already made that point with Amazon. And I believe Amazon, since Amazon is growing, we have to look at Amazon as a big catalyst for Rivian. So will this price go up, continue to go up and never go down? We're gonna have to see. So tomorrow's gonna be really, really exciting. So let's look at that tomorrow. Okay. So let's look at Ape Wisdom, see what's the trend right now. Tesla is always gonna be that number one. PayPal was big. GameStop. What else? Where's our buddies over here? They're in the bottom. The General Electric store in the bottom right here. Look at that. Neo and Lucid Motors. Look at that. But now we can talk about PG&E, because PG&E is going to be a really big player for the charging stations, which is Volta, EVgo, ChargePoint, and that nature. Because we know that EVgo went up like crazy. Like if you look at the chart right here, I did some sort of some chart analysis right here. I did say look for the cross, right? Look for the cross. I actually said that for Neo, but Neo is down. I did say look for the cross, and the cross is still there, guys. So I don't think it's going to be, I think they're just breathing right now. Nothing permanent. I believe that the EV sector is going to still go up, but by just doing some easy technicals, guys. From that point to that point, look what happened. Look at that reaction. Boom, boom. I did say I would wait for it to break to get back in, but look at that. But now it's a better time to get back in, from my opinion, because I'm going to go ahead and make some more dollar cost average again. So I actually made a more position on here. I bought like 50 more shares, nothing too crazy. But I bought more shares because I knew that, it could possibly go down a little bit more. But from looking at the technicals, it looks like it's going to probably continue to go up. All right. So when we look at EVgo, look at that. That's beautiful. Like, boom, look at that bullish halts. We had 2 bullish halts in 2 different days. My goodness, man, I wish I got in there, but I got more into Volta and Lucid. But whoever got in there, congratulations. ChargePoint 2. It was really nice until it, boom, hit the news. But then, anyways, let's go back. PG&E was good with the beneficiary. PG&E and all the EV charging stations related to, all the EV charging stations were all related together. So PG&E is going to be a big beneficiary, big beneficiary to all of this. So this is going to be really, really interesting how this plays out. We're going to look about Lucid, because Lucid is something that we're looking into, because we're looking about how much did they really deliver? Well, pretty much 20 cars. So I did say 60, I did say 50. There were some rumors, but 20 cars. So at least 10 from the pictures from that delivery day, it looks like 8 was delivered, and then the rest was delivered later on. Now, why is Lucid still bullish for me? Well, because it's not because what happened today. It's not what happened last week. It's what's been happening behind the scenes, because we know that the management of Lucid is not comparable to anybody else. We have Rivian. We have some hard hitters in Rivian, but then for Lucid, we have some great management like Derek Jenkins. He's the designer of the Lucid Air, but he's also worked at like legacy companies like Mazda, Audi, and the Volkswagen. He was also the director for Mazda in North America, so he kind of knows what he's doing, right? And then we have Peter Rawlinson, who is the CEO. He was actually the chief engineer for Tesla Model S. So we know what's going on with that. And Tesla Model S is by far my favorite Tesla. In between the X and the Y and all that Cybertruck, the S is my favorite sedan so far. Do I think it's better than Lucid? I don't know, because I haven't really been in one, but the Tesla S is a monster for sure. We also have the Saudis. I mentioned in this article that they have 1 billion in 2018. So now all these news is pretty much all here, guys. I pretty much compiled everything so that you can listen to it. If you like this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell and make sure you press all, so that every time I have a video, you'll never lose it. So what about tomorrow? So let's look at tomorrow. So I believe it may have to go down just a little bit more. I believe in the middle of the day, this could probably rally up. I don't think this is going to be something that's going to happen for a very long time. We have Lucid earnings coming out. We had EVgo's earnings came, but it wasn't that great. It still ended in a red candle. Volta already had their earnings. Sophie You know, same thing. And then we have Neo, same thing. So do I think it's going to be a loss? I don't think so. Again, we have to understand that the market has to breathe. And unfortunately, it breathed today because the last couple of days, it went up after the infrastructure bill. So the infrastructure bill is going to be something that that's going to be helping the EV market or the EV sector for a very, very long time. Just be patient with it. All right, guys, thank you so much for hopping onto this video. If you have anything else to say, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and until the next video, I will see you then. Bye-bye.